And I want to thank Alex Simonoff, who, as you know, has hosted 50-some years of Siegel readings, where so many of you who are here that I know and I miss, who I'm glad to be in touch with again now, and so many new people will learn about this group of people who have done so much good to bring groups together. And that includes Timur, of course, who brings business people under the Conti Group to actually build resorts for poor people. And of course, Timofey has done so much for me, the trainer of cosmonauts and astronauts, and we'll be translating this. Thank you so much, Timofey. And Leonev General, I am so grateful to you as former president of the Academy for bringing me in and giving me the theme of this presentation. The original title that I've been given is Peace in Space. And of course, we can't have peace on Earth without peace in space. So that is my theme that I've talked about for so many years, and a treaty that I will incorporate into my proposed protocols and steps for forming what I'll define in a few minutes as a new world order. But Leonev, I want to thank you so much because you gave me the subtitle of this talk, which is Cheese. And the reason that I've chosen cheese as my speech title, because you gentlemen took me to a dinner the last night that I was here in Russia years ago. And I said, why are we going to a restaurant where all of the courses are made out of cheese and homemade Russian wine? And they said, because we want you to go back with the message to the United States that sanctions don't work. So they came up with a whole new plan. And that's part of the attitude and the intention, the perspective that I have come to after quitting a couple of years ago, saying this was hopeless. Why am I doing this work? People are uneducable, especially in the United States, who have a theme to dominate and control the whole world with their technologies, not only on Earth, but in space, and mind control included. And now you've experienced the vaccine that isn't a vaccine at all. It's a medical experiment that has actually been injected into maybe half the world's population, I hear. But I know that tens of thousands of doctors and nurses and other people working in that field have given up their jobs or had to change their whole lifestyle because they refused to take that shot, and they also refused to give it to other people. It's caused so much harm, so many deaths, and unnecessary. And we know how much money was made from that, and it's still happening. There are certain things that are happening, aerosol masking, the volcanoes, the earthquakes, droughts, floods, all of these things are happening and not in our control. But we have a chance to learn about them and know that we're sitting on the edge of extinction. We could be blinked out at any minute by any one of a number of natural or man-made disasters, and that's what climate change is made up of. So what we have to do is focus on how to adjust to that and not buy into the lies about it. Adjust and get into a mode of survival. Learn survival techniques no matter what else we're working on. So I have a proposal that I want to make that's geared towards what part of the theme is of this conference, and that is to form a new world order. This new world order theme is one that many of us have been afraid to even mention, and we see where it comes from. The economic people that want to have them be in charge, the oligarchs stay in charge of controlling everything, the corporations, the handful of them that control the world, that have trillion-dollar budgets, so many zeros in them that I would draw out on a chart. If you could see them, it's almost laughable, but it's dangerous. That form of New World Order, where we're being controlled in the old cold and hot war game, where we're controlled by the elite taking charge of us, and that's what's been happening, continuing. That's a danger. The New World Order that we're talking about here is actually what we need. It's a new management system. It's a new organization. We need to organize, reorganize, and starting right here in this group with all these experts from 50-some countries perhaps, people listening in from around the world, Zoom calls, whatever we have to communicate with each other around the world, we are the majority. Majority rules. We need to come up with our own rules. And that leads to my actual proposal here. The first one is as a majority, we need to know the truth. We need to be able to have confidence in each other. That's what working together does. In space, so far, we've all been working together, and it builds a whole world community. That's the New World Order. Also, we have to do 1, 2, 3 things that I've concluded after my decades of work in the military-industrial complex belly of the beast, and had so much exposure with some people that I wish I had time to tell more about, but I'll mention some in this presentation, that have led me to this conclusion. The first thing that I propose that we do is come up with a reveal, to reveal the truth about the UFOs and ETs. I admit now that I have been visited. They came in through the wall. They've been giving me messages that I've incorporated into other speeches, but I never had the nerve to say, this is what's happened to me, even though I've heard that millions of people have also had experiences. None of them are hostile. Now, that's hard for us to believe because we are taught that you have to have an enemy or you have to doubt people. You have to have an enemy and you have to defend yourself. And in that state of defense, in the reveal, Wernher von Braun, the scientist whose speeches I gave for the last years of his life, as he transmitted them into my left ear without a telephone, telepathic experience that we have with the ETs too, I was told that none of them are hostile. They're not coming to steal our ovaries and sperms or resources. They're here to observe. They would love to work with us and share knowledge, but they're not going to do it. If we're going to blow ourselves up, they can leave. We have a chance to have an enormous amount of information presented to us, and it's in the form of high technology. We have evolved to be developing things like AI and spacecrafts and joint ventures in space. What if some of that gets out of control and turns into weaponry and turns into part of the kill that we're all experiencing on the planet, whether from man-made or natural disasters? We're in it. That's why we're on the edge of extinction right now. We're leading ourselves into a habitat that's not livable for any form of life on this planet. But what does that mean? Why am I here representing the United States, which I'm told I'm the only one in this conference that is representing the United States? I am embarrassed and I'm in pain to say that it's because I have seen and gotten extremely depressed. I quit a couple of years ago, even doing this work, because I found that people in so many fields of the war industry are simply uneducable. And in fact, some of our family and friends don't even talk to people like us that are trying to tell the truth. But in the United States, the game plan is to dominate and control everything on Earth and in space. We have to be the majority. And if the majority rules, we have to come up with our own rules. And if we come up with our own rules, my suggestion is that we just walk away from the United States, who, do you know, has sanctioned close to 30 countries or over that. Sanctioned countries, stop them from doing things so that they can do things the United States way? No, sorry, game over, new game. That's where we are today. So my suggestions, the first one being reveal the truth about the UFOs and ETs, note to everybody that none of them are hostile. They've evolved and we can too. And make sure that you tune into the archives that are now being released by people like Stephen Greer, Dr. Greer, and get them released in all of your countries. Go to your world leaders, go to the corporations, the militaries, get that information out there before the United States reveals, which they're getting ready to do, their version of what ETs and UFOs are, which are, as Wernher von Braun warned us, the next evil alien. And we now know there are witnesses coming forward that a lot of the crafts that we see, a lot of the abductions, things like that, are man-made. They're not from ET creations. And we need to also come up with the third proposal, which I have as the treaty. That treaty is the most important document of our time, for sure. Please go to peaceandspace.com. Go to the groups that are here. Anybody that's posted it, post it yourself, read it, and know that one thing we can do right now is get that signed into a binding world law by the people who are here. Alex Simonoff and others have worked to get even 43 countries, but the U.S. pulled out on the very day that it was supposed to happen at the UN from signing it. We can get that signed. Do it. You don't need the United States in it. Hopefully the U.S. will come along. They are capitalists. Maybe they'll see their benefits. Hopefully our new president will also see our benefits. We'll see the business opportunities in space. So those are the three proposals that I present to you as part of the forming of what we need to do. Come together in groups, reorganize, Tell people in your communities, up to your states, countries, and tell the world that we have a chance and opportunity now, but not if we are still being dominated and controlled by various aspects of my country, the United States, which has also wonderful people in it who are working on excellent projects and who do want to build cooperation, but don't buy it if they're saying we want to stop nukes in space, just that. No, go to this treaty that will ban, listen, all space-based weapons. This treaty acknowledges the indigenous people. It acknowledges the cosmic cultures and that none are hostile. We can no longer make enemies out of people. We need to build trust and confidence. And to do that, you build cooperation like what's in space right now that we can maintain and expand, but for the benefits to all life on Earth. We have a chance right now to build a whole new world. That's been rhetoric in the past. It's not anymore, because we are the people here who come into a meeting like this, and we have look at the geopolitical problems and we're making our proposals. That's what we're doing. Now, if we can come together, share them, and work together, we have that new world order. That's the new world order we're talking about. It's not the one that's dominated with all the economics and all the people that are benefiting in a different kind of way, very selfishly. No, we're doing it in a way that is going to help all the children and other animals, all the people and all the cultures. We're going to share and learn from each other now. That's what this is about. So again, I say, reveal the truth about the UFOs and ETs so that we don't buy that the technology we see in space is coming to kill us. It's not. These people, pardon me, these people are not coming to take our lives. The ETs I'm speaking of, which to me are just another form of people. And we're also going to eliminate working with the people who are not willing to work with us peacefully. Just keep moving. And my conclusion to focus on the treaty rises up again, because when you read it, and we can now legally, feasibly, with enforcement based on our cooperation, trust, and confidence building by the nature of our working together, we can create peace in space, which is the only way to get to peace on Earth. If there are weapons in space over all our heads, that's not going to be possible. We have a very short amount of time as we sit on this edge of extinction, but we have a chance now to create a glorious, wonderful opportunity, and it's based on our highest level of consciousness, our highest frequencies of consciousness coming together. If Werner von Bauth could transmit a speech to me, if I can see you without a telephone, if I can see you with no area of sight in my brain after a stroke, and my sight comes back, and we hear about all kinds of things that people say can't be done, and we find out later they could be. Let's make sure that we've got our intelligence, including our artificial intelligence, our technologies, soft and heart, coming together from our hearts with love for each other, with the happiness and love that people feel. That's what humanity is about. That's what other animals are about, that we are learning to communicate with. From some of the people that I've worked with, like John Lilly, Timothy Leary, Werner von Braun, Bucky Fuller, Raymond Wilson, who worked with the Quakers on peace. I have a list of these wonderful people, and then the new people that are coming in who have all kinds of brand new ideas. Let's work together for peace on Earth, through peace in space, and our highest consciousness and the deepest parts of our hearts. Thank you again for having me here. I look forward to hearing from everyone. My email is peacemother@gmail.com. My website is peaceinspace.com, where the treaty is posted. Please read it and read it again so that you see the story that we're working on right now with that one little flip and pivot of history that we're going to create together. We can do this. I know we can do this. And I don't give up anymore because I'm here. Thank you.